Hi guys, thank you for viewing this video. Welcome to my channel, Intuitive Reader the Rebirth. I am a highly intuitive empath, also a spiritual life coach, here to bring you the tools, assistance necessary to unblock your inner power. This is the purpose of my videos and also my life's purpose as well, to bring you the tools and guidance necessary. So the purpose of this video is just a small Q&A. I don't know how long the video is gonna last because I'm really gonna freestyle. And just a disclaimer, this is a request from one of a client that I'm coaching, and she had said that she was looking and searching for months on end to get the answers that she's seeking, and in vain she hasn't been able to. So she had requested if I could break it down to her. So I decided to do a video because these questions are things that we all ask, and I believe it's important for me to do this video because she is currently awakening and new to a lot of concept terms. So I'm going to try my best to bring some enlightenment to some of the questions that possibly anyone who is currently awakening or going through an awakening and just want more clarity or understanding, or just a different perspective on stuff that you know already. So here goes. I have the questions like on the screen. So one of the one that I want to start with first, it's what's the difference between religion and spirituality, and why do we follow religion? These are all my personal opinions based on years and years of personal research for myself, the knowledge, and also from observation of my surroundings and also society. I love to study society. I'm like a secret sociologist. Okay. So for me, between religion and spirituality, for me, spirituality, it's the law, and religion is the rules. Okay? Because there's this quote that says astrology is the rules, but God is law. So I'm just applying that same quote because I like it. So spirituality is law because you can have spirituality without religion, but you cannot have religion without the spiritual aspect, because that is the foundation. It's the base of your religion, the unseen. What is spirituality? Spirituality is the belief in the unseen world, the belief in a higher power, a source energy that created us all, that's governing life as we know it, that's in charge of the circumstances and events that are playing out around us. This is spirituality, the belief in that aspect, the belief that there is other beings out there, or life form. Either they are here to assist us on our journey on earth, or these beings or whatever are here to test us, you know, to hinder us, tempt us off the path. Okay, the dark or negative or low vibrational type energies, I would classify them. So really understanding the difference. So that's the spiritual aspect. So the religious aspect, just to tie everything together, for me, the religious aspect, or religion for me, is the rules that governs the law of the unseen. So in some people, or in order to, let's say, have a cohesive society, a society that functions properly, a society that's structured, we need rules, and those rules are religion, or those rules come from the religious um, the religious teachings. Okay, because even if you look at history in regards to religion itself, why, let's say the holy books were revealed in those periods, it's because civilization was in chaos, and then God decided to bring down some rules, which are the, let's say, revelation, the books that we have to study in order to bring in that stability into society. Because as humans, we are born with the negative and the positive. And as I had mentioned before, there are positive beings that are here to help us, and there are also the low vibrational ones that are here to keep us down into that low vibration by lack, fear, insecurities, all of these things. So any type of person, situation, or thing that can trigger you into those emotions, that's the job of the low vibrational entities, and they can work on their own or they can work through people. So when people piss you off, sometimes it's just they're just a jerk, but sometimes when you can feel that it's unintentional, it's just, let's say, those low vibrational energies trying to work through that person or use that situation to trigger you off of your enlightened path or get you out of character, basically. Okay, so with religion, why it's important to a certain extent is because from the history of time, humans don't know how to act, and we're seeing it today. We're fighting over toilet paper. Like, this is why we need religion, because people don't know how to use their brains. Does it apply to everyone? No, but we're in a collective we're in, like, we share one collective energy. So example, God would not have time to be like, okay, you, this type of civilization have to follow strict rules because they're chaotic, and this type of civilization because they're spiritual and they understand the circle of life, they understand evolution, they understand the karma of good versus bad. They're chill, they don't need like any books or religion or prayers, like, let's say like 5 daily prayers for like Muslims and stuff. They don't have to follow that because they get it. God wouldn't, it would, that in itself would create chaos, right? So my belief in that is, and this is why those who are spiritual, they tend to not associate themselves with religion, because they've understood the concept that religion is trying to teach society. Religion is just here to give you the rules to follow to make sure there's order. But if you take that away, humans within themselves should have the capacity to know this is wrong, this is right, this is good, this is bad. But why that doesn't happen goes back to the reason. It goes back to, let's say, the beginning of time, when we're here to earn our way back up to where we originated from, which is heaven. We did not start here on earth. So why there's a negative force is to test you, to see, did you understand the concept? Did you understand there's a higher being governing us? Do you understand that you have one path, and there are things, people, and situations that are here to test? It's just here to test you. Do you get it or no? Because if you don't get it, you will always be deviating off of your path. You will never obtain your abundance. You will never obtain the success that you're aiming for, because you're always taken off of your path because of situation, people, or things testing you. testing your faith, testing your patience, testing your kindness, testing your intelligence, testing your heart. Okay, you can plug it in. So example for me, I look somebody like me and my background, I needed religion to keep me straight. And the people around me within that transition of becoming more religious, and it also happened at not like a young age, but I was like 20 years old when I made the decision. So I can't really say I was spiritual, because what do you really know at like 19, 20, you know? So, but my family, very religious and spiritual. My background, my culture, whatever. So coming into the realization of the path that I want to go and the lifestyle that I was living, God sent down the religion knocking on my door, said, here, read this book, follow this book, and you'll be straight. And I've been straight ever since. That's for my story personally. So it's just an attestation of certain people, they need religion in order to walk a straight path. So now that I've studied and I've utilized and I've practiced what I've learned, now my spirituality is being like reintroduced to me, and this is why I'm doing tarot and all of these things, to expand, because God knows that like I got it already. Like I've been sitting on this knowledge and all of this information for like over a decade. So God is like, okay, here's the next test. Start doing tarot. You know? So it's to expand my spirituality, because I'm very God-fearing person. And so with that being said, it's like God thinks, or God is saying, not things, because God knows everything. So God is just showing me through alignments of events, alignments of events in a very short space of time, that this is the path that you need to go on. And this path requires me to like open up my spiritual awareness to the maximum degree. And then with me personally, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of my personal story, but I think it's important because I'm channeling. I didn't even know I'm talking about myself, but for me, during this transition, because of how I started off like very religious, it's like I was fighting my spiritual path, because it's like it's against what, let's say, the book is teaching or saying. Not against, it's not against, but the line is very thin. And because of my, let's say, religious beliefs and how it's like rooted in me to the core, I'm like, hell to the no, 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 no. I will never risk my my place in heaven, because I decided to deviate from what the book was teaching me, which I was following all my life and everything was great. Why would I go off track now into like the spiritual unknown? But deep down inside, because I'm a curious cat, it's my Virgo nature, just like tiptoeing, just seeing what it is, getting a feel of where I'm guided. Because that's how I always navigated my life, is I would feel out the situation. Does it feel positive or does it feel negative? Until I, have to make whatever final decision or whatever the case may be at that time. So I just resisted, because I'm like, I don't know where this is going to take me. But I do know, sticking by the book, where that's going to take me. But then I guess there was like a calling that I kept on hearing. And again, the alignments of events stuff kept on aligning, and then it was just too obvious that this is where I needed to go. And then by letting go of the resistance of my spiritual path and exploring tarot, exploring um, the, the different levels of spirituality for me personally, which put ease to my soul, was to see that the teachings of spirituality was hand in hand what my book was teaching me. So I was like, hey, okay, well, it's fine. It's fine now because there's nothing that goes against my personal beliefs, my personal religious beliefs in my spiritual world. So it just confirms for me they go both hand in hand. Because my faith, my religion teaches me, like, the number one thing is like blind faith. The number one thing is God consciousness. Like, if you obtain that in my religion, you're like VIP. But you got to maintain it. And again, we are all subject to these tests and trials to test what we believe, to test what we're saying. Shadow work. So what is shadow work? Shadow work is through the triggers of these low vibrational energies, through the people, through a thing, a situation. It triggers these low vibrational, it triggers these negative emotion within you, which are dark. And this is why they call it shadow work, because a shadow comes out at night. Night, it's dark. And also in tarot, the night is the moon. The moon is the subconscious mind. So the negative emotions or feelings or thought patterns that are hidden in your subconscious comes out when someone or a situation doesn't go your way. That's when you see the ugly side of people come out. So that, like, if you would screenshot their reaction, that would be their shadow side coming out. And shadow work is by you not waiting to be triggered in that way. You actually sit down with yourself in meditation, in prayer, whichever one you choose to do, and you yourself bring it out, because you know yourself. It's you, and because it's you, you're always going to be triggered by the same thing. Like, if you are impatient, for example, if I'm impatient, no matter who it is, situation, thing, as long as it touches on having patience, I'm already triggered. So it's like, how many type of situation do you need to understand that you are impatient? Or how many types of situation would you need to understand that you are not confident, you don't trust yourself, or you don't trust your own judgment, or you have low self-esteem, or you are codependent? How many types of situations would you need to trigger that emotion? That could be done through meditation, to bring up those emotions, counseling, coaching those emotions. You can go get them, or just let life flow, because the universe, spirit, your higher self, the angels know what you need when you need it. But if you are ready to, let's say, fast track the process because you want to get to the next level faster, then definitely coaches, counseling, therapy, all of these things, that's why they're there, to bring out these shadows. So this is shadow work. What is dimension? Dimension, I think it's just the different level of awareness, or spiritual awareness, a different level that you can access information, or you can access wisdom, or the interpretation of those, like the knowledge and the wisdom and whatever. So it's like the deeper that you can go, it's like the higher in dimension you're able to access. Some people, who's calling me? Some people are born with the ability to access these higher dimensions. That's why they're called psychics, mediums, clairvoyance, like all of these names. It's just to say that you are born with the ability to access those higher dimensions, but we are all supposed to elevate our highest self. And so this is why it's either you let life trigger you, or you take matters into your own hands and access the right tools, the right people to help you do the shadow work, which is also inner work, because inner means inside. So you're working on your insides. So what's inside? It's your emotions, it's your thoughts, it's your beliefs. So inner work is working on what you feel, working on your emotions. You know, why do certain situations bring out certain emotions? Why do certain people or things bring out certain thoughts? Why do you believe what you believe? You know, a lot of hold on. What is the link between spirituality and what's the link between your spiritual awakening and twin flame? So for me, or like a soul connection. So for me, it's just because you are now accessing you're accessing a greater I'm looking for the word, you're accessing a different world of information. You're accessing a different world where time doesn't exist, because in heaven time doesn't exist. Time was created by man, and this is where we originated from. It's heaven. So therefore, in that spiritual realm, time doesn't exist. Space doesn't exist. We're all connected through energy, through frequency. And once you decide to consciously make the choice to turn this way, you are choosing to jump into that world. And in that world, it's another world where there's spiritual connections, where there's soul bonding. You get your soul mate, twin flame. But it's only by choosing to access or entering the world of unknown things, because in the spiritual world, it's invisible. It's a feeling frequency. You feel energy constantly all the time. You feel your impact, like you're an empath. You pick up on things. So in that world, you don't need to see with your eyes. This is why the 3D world, we already have the world for the eyes, and then there's the world for the feeling, the mind, and the accessing the different dimension. It's by opening up your mind further and further to get more and more knowledge, and that's just by researching, knowing. But also your higher self will guide you to research what you need to research at the time that you need to get that knowledge, you know. And also why it's very important to have a spiritual life coach. This is why I'm here, to bring you the tools, because we can intuitively know where to go to get what you need, because we're, let's say, we're like a few steps ahead, so we can know how to like go and get what you need to like get you further on your, further along. So this is the purpose of a life coach. My information is in the description box. So, what's spiritual awakening? I think I answered all of them. So, there's nothing wrong with following religion if you feel comfort in following a set of rules and guidelines because it brings you inner peace. Can nobody tell you that it's wrong? Because it's not. It's the purpose of it to keep you in line. Okay, I cannot not be religious. It's like part of my DNA. But I can also know when take a leap of faith and jump into the unknown, you know, because I have faith in the higher power source, God. I have faith in the unknown, even if it's unknown. I have, because it's because of the link that I have with source, the personal link that I have with source. It's like, you know, it allows me, it facilitates the actions needed to take, to jump. And that's why the people around me, they think I'm crazy. My family and friends, they think I'm crazy because they're like, what is she doing? Why is she making this decision? Why is she going there? Why is she being all religious and stuff? You don't need to worry about it. I'm on a journey. And as I was saying, on this journey, it's a feeling frequency. I can only act on what I feel because my life, my childhood, my background was the biggest illusion of my life. Well, yeah. Not the biggest. That's for another video. But I could say the biggest, but then because that was, let's say, the foundation that I was given, and a life of illusion, now in my adult life, it's playing out in like um subtitled ways, you know, very like hidden, not hidden, but you don't really notice it happening or going on until you become awakened to the patterns that you are engaging in or the person in front of you is engaging in. And then every time it's like a shift in consciousness. You shift. You're always shifting, shifting, shifting. The more that you shift and take actions on that aha moment in your mind, I was like, this is wrong. What you're saying is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. For me, maybe for somebody else, your ex or whatever. All right. Or maybe because back in the culture, it was done this way. But me, who I am as a person, I don't want to follow that. I don't think that's okay. I don't think, example, okay? I don't think a woman should supposed to be sitting at home just having kids all day. The me today want that, but also want to have my own career. Let's say to say that to your family or your culture, they would look at you like you're crazy in certain places in the world, okay? Certain cultures, certain beliefs. But it's like, I don't think that's okay. So every time that you make the decision to stand up for yourself, you are loving yourself. My next video, self-love. You're loving yourself, you're putting yourself first. And when you love yourself, you are in love. Therefore, you will generate love back. But if you let people make you feel like crap, you will feel like crap and you will emanate crap and you will get back crappy results because you're not at your best. Because there's things, there's people, and possibly places that you go to or you associate yourself with that make you feel less than your highest potential. So because of that, you will not produce anything really that's tangible or satisfying enough for you. You would always feel like, it's okay, it's mediocre. But that feeling of settling will eat your soul out until you shift. Because I had said that in the video. There's certain people on their spiritual path, when God wants you over here, kick, scream, whatever you want to do, your ass is going to be over here. I can attest. I'm here. I'm attesting. Your ass is going to be over here. So it's better to just submit. It's better to just keep your mind open. Keep your mind open to what is, and always be in the moment and ask yourself, how do I feel right now today? Yesterday was cool, but today it's not really cool. That's okay. And this is something that I say to my kids all the time, because they've been watching these shows, and now they're always like promoting promiscuous stuff and sexuality and stuff to kids and whatnot. And like when there's like kissing on the TV and stuff, and or they're like teenagers in like high school shows and whatnot, and they have girlfriends and boyfriends, and it's cool, and it's like, I would always turn and look at my kids like, you see what mommy tell you all the time? Friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, today they love you, tomorrow they don't. And ain't shit you can do about it except respect yourself, except not engaging in that, because you don't have the awareness and consciousness on how to maintain it or navigate it. You're just in school. So to avoid the pain of somebody waking up tomorrow and be like, I don't want you in my life anymore. And I say to them, if they can have the right, the freedom to dump you, like, because every relationship, marriage, whatever, when you go through a breakup, it is always, you wake up the next day and it's over. The final decision is always an overnight thing. Even if it took you 10 years to make that decision, even if it took you a week to make that decision, the final decision is always like, you woke up and today, okay, we're making the final decision. So if that person can have the freedom to do that, you also have the freedom to do the same thing. Always put yourself first. And you will never be in a compromising situation, position that, you have to do things out of your integrity. You have to lower your self-respect to maintain a situation. Hell to the no, 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 no. Not my kids. And I would never encourage anyone to do that. This is not light worker. This is not positive energies and stuff, engaging in this situation, but we unknowingly fall into these situations. It's only a lack of knowledge, proper knowledge of self and of what is, and a surrender to what is. Because we can have the knowledge of what is, and we know we need to make a change, but we don't want to make a change because we don't want to, because if we know that if we make that change, shit is going to change, and you don't want shit to change. You want things to stay the same. But guess what? In order for things to stay the same, you got to stay in the low vibration. You got to stay in the manipulation. You got to stay in the unworthiness. You got to stay in the feeling degraded. You're going to stay in the feeling of abandoned or whatever, not good enough. You're going to realize, for me to hold on to this thing, I'm kind of giving up who I am as a person. That, how would you ever succeed or have love, light, and peace when you yourself is doing that? You're doing it to yourself. How can I let go? That's my mother. How can I let go? That's my father. How can I let go? That's my boyfriend or girlfriend. If you want to know how you can let go, ask yourself, how do you authentically feel about it? And then once you answer that authentically, then ask yourself, why is that okay that I do that to myself? And I guarantee you 99% of the time you will not have an answer. That's how you're going to know it's time to let go. You're not going to have an answer. And also it's going to show you where your triggers are as well. So I'm going to leave it there. I really hope it made sense, and I really hope that it answered some questions. If you want more, or if you want to go specific, my information is in the description box. Send me an email, and we can get started on your personal journey to get you where you need to be. 2020, it's like go time. Okay? So thank you. Please share, like, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Like the video if you didn't like it already. Okay? Thanks. Bye.